All right, ladies and gentlemen from 916, for those of you that are trying to build these schematic circuits from home, I realize you don't have the benefit of having me in the classroom and getting a little bit of help. So I wanted to create a help video for you, at least for this automatic night light, the first one, and kind of show you how I would go about building this, and maybe that'll help you out. So you can see the first thing I did here was I took a look at the legend right here, and I gathered up all of the parts that I needed. So I got the battery snap, the potentiometer, which is R3 right here. I know that because it's got the little arrow right there. We've got two LEDs up here. This P1 is the photo cell, which it tells us down here at the bottom. I've got my transistor, which is the 3904. I already checked that. And then I've got a 47K here, and this is supposed to be a 16K, which would be a brown, blue, orange. I did not have a 16K in my kit, and some of the people at school didn't have one either. So I'm going to try and do this with the 6.8K, which is the next largest resistor. So we'll see if this works or not. To see what happens. So here's how I'm going to start. We talked about starting with the battery and the positive side of the battery. So I'm just going to take my battery snap and I'm just going to plug it into a random location here on the breadboard. And as I follow the schematic up, the first thing that I run into is R2 and R1. You can see the positive side of the battery snap is connected to both of them. So I'm going to take my two resistors. My 47 is my R1, so I'm going to put that in the same row and this in the same row as my battery. So everything is in the same row here. I'm going to take the 47 and I'm going to put it somewhere else, and I'm going to take the 6.8 or the 16K and put that down here. Now I follow this around. The next thing I see is I've got my two LEDs. The little short line is the negative side of the LED. So that tells me this is a long leg, and these are connected in series to each other. So I'm going to grab my LEDs, and I can see I got my long leg here. So I'm going to put that in the same row as my 47. And I'm going to take the next long leg. I'm going to connect that to the short leg of the next one and put that there. Okay, now back over here to the schematic. If I follow LED2 around, I can see the next thing that I come to is the transistor. Now, the transistor schematic, as you can see, if I draw it here, looks something like this. This is pin 1, this is pin 2, and this is pin 3. Now, when you're looking at the schematic of this bird's eye view, it's hard to tell which way does it go, this way or this way. So here's your little hint. Aerial view, the transistor sits like this. So we want to put it in the breadboard like that. Okay, so this is my pin 1 right here. So we're going to take this, I'm going to put that so the pin 1 is right there in line with the leg of my LED. Okay, now let's come back over to the schematic. Resistor 2 is supposed to be my 16K. For me, it's my 6.8. We actually have a connection right there. I'm drawing in the book. So if I hold my potentiometer, this is pin 1. This is the center pin, pin 2, the one with the arrow. And then you can see here, this one isn't connected to anything. So that one we can just kind of get out of the way. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put this in the same row as the 16K, and I'm taking the center of the potentiometer and putting that to the center of the transistor. And again, the third leg isn't connected to anything. Actually, I'm going to move this over here for good reason. All right, let's go back and look at our schematic again. Now we have P1, our photocell. You can see the photocell actually is connected in between the potentiometer and the middle of the transistor. So if we kind of look at this is right in the middle. They kind of drew it to the left. I don't know why they didn't put it right in the middle, but it's in between the two. So one leg of the photocell is going to go in between there. The other leg of the photocell, if we track it back around, is actually on the out pin of our transistor over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both legs of the photocell. I'm going to put right in between here. Here's the leg of my potentiometer. Here's the leg of my transistor. I'm going to put the one leg right in the middle there on the middle pin of the transistor, just like the book shows. And I'm going to take the other leg and I'm going to put that one on the out pin of my transistor, just like that. And now I'm going to grab a jumper wire. If we come back over to our schematic, you can see that all of this pin and this pin, transistor photocell, is connected back to the negative of the battery. So I'm going to just run a jumper wire from that third pin of my transistor over to a random location right here, and I'm going to take the battery snap and I'm going to put that right next to it. Now, like I told you guys at the beginning of this video, I didn't have a 16K in this kit, and I'm stuck at home here. So I used a 6.8. So we'll see if this works. I'm going to plug this in. Okay. And okay, so the potentiometer adjusts the sensitivity of the night light. Now it's supposed to be a night light. It's daytime. So it shouldn't be on right now. So I'm going to turn my potentiometer down so that it's off. And now my photocell is the eye. So if my finger is the sun going down and I cover that photocell, the night light should come on. There we go. So that's how you breadboard that circuit. You see, even if I just hover my hand over it, covers it a little bit. So key things to know are well, the big key thing is to make sure that your transistor is facing the right way, and you definitely have a 3904. If it's behaving opposite, if the light is going off when you cover the photocell, you might have the 3906 in there. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out, and maybe tomorrow we'll do another video of building the next circuit. All right, guys, good luck.